Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV and welcome to your Chelsea news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV if you are new around here. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And obviously, we are now just a few days out from Chelsea returning to action against Newcastle, but there has been a little bit of news over the last day or so in regards to transfers, and two names in particular, Trevor Chalobah and Romelu Lukaku. Now, we start with Chalobah. Obviously, he picks up an injury in pre-season. A hamstring was initially only meant to be out for a month, but has suffered a setback, which we heard about in training. And now he's expected to be out until sort of December, early January, which is putting off potential suitors from signing him. Bayern Munich have ruled themselves out of the race. They were keen to get him in the summer, but they're now ruling themselves out alongside Borussia Dortmund as well. There is an interest from Roma in Italy, reportedly, potentially AC Milan as well. There's no shortage of clubs for Chalobah, but he has suffered another setback and is expected to be out until early January, as I was saying, meaning he basically would have spent best part of 6 months on the sideline. There was interest from Spurs potentially as well, but they're believed to have now cooled their interest, obviously, in Chalobah due to his injuries. Look, Chalobah is absolutely up for sale. And Nazar Kinsella, I think, was saying yesterday or today that, he's definitely up for sale. He's going to be back sort of early January, end of December. And again, that may well put teams off signing him because he's not going to be fully match fit until the end of January. Teams that are going to be wanting him either in a loan capacity or an actual deal are going to be wanting to have him ready and available straight away. But it's not just the German teams that want Chalobah. There are many, many suitors for him. But it's crazy. It is crazy how long he's been out for. Sort of the situation that we find ourselves in with Chalobah. I still fully expect him to leave the club in January. I don't envisage him ever playing for Chelsea again. Not because he's not good enough, but just because he's clearly out of favour. And the other options that are ahead of him, sadly, as good as Chalobah's been, they're better than him. And that's just kind of the harsh reality. I feel that this should have been dealt with in the summer. This injury now has kind of rumbled on. We are where we are in terms of we've got a depreciating asset now in Chalobah. He's not playing. He's not in the shop window. We don't really know where he's at right now with his form, with his football. And we've just got an asset that's depreciating in value massively. He's 24 years of age. He's versatile, right back, centre back, defensive midfield at times. 24 years of age, a great age. He's got 5 years left on his contract with an option for a sixth, given he signed a new deal not so long ago. All those things would make you think, yeah, he's got to be worth 40, 50 million pounds. Like the reality of the matter is, guys, we'd be lucky if we got 20 or 25 million for him, which, all right, yeah, it's pure profit on the books. But for a player that like him, who's good, who's versatile, as I was saying, you should be getting a lot more money than that. And we're just simply not going to get that for him because he's not been in the shop window. He's not playing. He hasn't played for a long time. And that's kind of the market value for him at the moment, particularly if we're looking to sell to Italian clubs. They know that they charge the maximum and try and get players for the absolute minimum. It's kind of crazy because Trevor Chalobah is the longest serving current player in the squad. He's been here just over 5 years, which is kind of crazy. It goes to show how much turnover there's been in the squad in recent times, that he's the longest serving player. But it's going to be interesting to see kind of how Chelsea move with this one in terms of what we look to do. Would it be a loan in January? Look, for me, the thing that's going to make the most sense, in my opinion, potentially a loan in January, go and play regularly, boost his value back up a bit, and then sell him in the summer. I'm not sure, given his injuries and whatnot, if we can get a sale in January. More likely to be a loan, but people that are looking for a loan are going to want someone to be able to come in and make an impact straight away. He's not going to be match fit. Do we keep him for another 6 months until the end of the season, where, again, he's not going to feature and his value is going to go down even more? So we're in a bit of a tricky situation here, which is all of Chelsea's making, but it's going to be interesting to see what the club look to do with Chalobah when they decide to move him on, because right now he's just out on the sidelines and his value is just going down and down and down every day. And just kind of round out on Chalobah, it's a real shame. He's obviously come through the academy. He's been very reliable for Chelsea. He's played well in multiple positions for the club when called upon. I don't think he's particularly been treated the best, but ultimately, as happens in big clubs, there's competition for places, and the centre backs we've got are unfortunately they're just better than him. It's as simple as that. And for his career, and for Chelsea, it's probably best that there's a parting of the ways. But for me, it feels a little bit of a shame that he's probably not going to play for Chelsea again, and it's sort of ended in the way that it looks like ending. But that's the latest on Trevor Chalobah, is that Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund are not keen on him anymore. He's going to be out until late December, early January. He might not be fit until the end of January. So that's put a little bit of a spanner in the works, but there are still plenty of suitors for him. So let's kind of wait and see what happens on the Chalobah front. But he's certainly one of the most likely names to leave in January or the summer. It looks like as well, in regards to Romelu Lukaku, people, that we could, come the end of the season, finally have a parting of the ways on a permanent basis with Lukaku and Chelsea. He joined Roma on loan. We wanted to get rid of him permanently, but we haven't. He joined on loan. There's a lot of people talking about a release clause. It's not a release clause per se. Fabrizio Romano described it as something like a release clause, but not a proper one. There's a gentleman's agreement between, obviously, Lukaku's agents and Chelsea, and there's a possibility for him to leave for 40 million euros, so around 37 million pounds. And it's not just for Roma, that's for any club. Obviously, Roma are keen to make Lukaku's loan deal permanent. He started very well there. He's amongst the goals. He's made a good impact. And, as a Chelsea fan, we're in a unique situation where, obviously, given everything that's happened, all the water under the bridge of Lukaku, all the things that have gone on since he returned to the club, and that whole disaster, we do actually need him to do well so that we can actually offload him on a permanent basis. So it's a bit weird that you want Lukaku to do well, given how things have panned out, but him doing well gives us the best chance of being able to offload him. He's putting himself into the shop window now. He's in good form. He's scoring goals, not just for Roma, but scoring goals for Belgium as well. And that might alert other clubs. And at £37 million, like, a scoring Romelu Lukaku in decent form, that's not a bad deal to be had. Yes, for Chelsea, with 2.5 years left on his contract now, it'll be 2 years at the end of the season. For someone that we signed for just under £100 million to get 37 million. All right, it's not amazing, but I think it's the best of a dreadful scenario. And we could finally be heading to a parting of the ways. We just need Lukaku to carry on his good form. I don't know whether Jose Mourinho stays at Roma or not. His contract's up at the end of the season. Does that make a difference to Lukaku wanting to stay at Roma on a permanent basis? Antonio Conte, obviously, who he did so well with at Inter Milan, is tipped as one of the favourites to take over at Roma if Mourinho were to move on at the end of the season. I'm sure he wouldn't say no to a reunion with Conte potentially as well. But look, it looks like we are getting ever so closer to a Lukaku departure from Chelsea, but we just need to carry on his good form, keep playing well, get himself in the shop window, and I'm sure more clubs than Roma will become interested in his services. But yeah, it feels like it's a long, drawn-out process, this Lukaku thing, and the sooner it's done, the better. But just a little bit of news in regards to that. There's no real news on Osimhen or Ivan Toney other than what's already known. No significant developments there right now. But there is a tiny bit of news to round this one out in regards to the stadium. There's been an article in The Athletic today, and one of the points coming out of it have been that Chelsea are looking to examine all the viable temporary options. So that, I guess, that would include Twickenham and Wembley and all these other places in the event of a Stamford Bridge rebuild. But Bowley and Clear Lake do not consider Craven Cottage to be one of the options. Fulham's home is regarded as simply too small and relatively lacking in corporate amenities to fulfill the brief. So yeah, that's good news to hear. As we suspected, yes, location-wise convenient. Everything else is not ticking any boxes whatsoever. So yeah, and in terms of other things on the stadium as well, from the same Athletic article, just to round this out, Abramovich's non-negotiable requirement for any Stamford Bridge rebuild was 60,000 seats. There's a strong feeling that a new home should at least match the standards set by the Spurs stadium. I think that's absolutely got to be the case. With Chelsea, we're a massive football club, but the one thing that's lacking, or where we lag behind big time, is in the stadium. So anything new has got to at least match what what's on offer at the Tottenham Stadium. I think it's as simple as that. So yeah, I mean, look, obviously, if we were to go and play at Wembley, when Spurs played there, apparently the attendance for Premier League matches was limited at 62,000. And in regards to the Earls Court site, which again is a lot of people's preferred choice, continue to play at Stamford Bridge, build a new stadium at Earls Court. Supposedly, the Hammersmith and Fulham Council have already indicated to the club that it is opposed to the construction of a stadium in the Earls Court location. That doesn't mean that it's ruled out and it can't happen. They're just opposed to it. So, yeah, a little bit of food for thought with the stadium plans there, a little bit of an update, but nothing that we didn't really already know, but just thought that it was worth covering. But yeah, guys, that's kind of your Chelsea news, the main goings on at the moment. Hopefully, we do well against Newcastle. Christopher Nkunku and Lavia could well be in the squad. We could maybe see debuts from them this weekend. But that's your Chelsea news video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea.